Oh, well, hey, babe. It's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey. Listen, let's go ahead and have us a quick chat about some Real Housewives. Let's talk about it. All right, y'all. First up on the quick chat is Miss Jenny. Miss Jenny from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, okay? Y'all know Miss Jenny was doing a whole lot on this past week's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, okay? She feels as though she could talk to people any kind of way, but can't nobody talk to her in the same fashion. Get it together, Miss Jenny, okay? Speaking of getting it together, seems like her niece took to social media on last week. If you guys did not see the video, I do have the clip here, where her niece took to social media to kind of like get her together in the sense of like airing out a little bit of their business, okay? So for those of you guys that did not catch it, let me go ahead and play it for you all now. So get into this.
I have some tea about a Real Housewives cast member. I'm not going to say any names, but she's been recently getting attention as a new housewife, and I guess in the recent episode, her husband gave her like a sister wife proposition, and his reasoning was that he wants more kids, which doesn't make sense because he didn't take care of his kids when they were little. Second, she's milking this whole crazy, like, I came from nothing storyline, which is not true at all. These people are so disgusting, they're willing to do anything for money. And I know this because she's my aunt and she used to stay with my family a lot, and my parents helped her so much, helped her in any way they can, looked after her kids, etc. And she threatened to sue them and throw them in jail so her husband and her could get some money.
All right, y'all heard what Miss Jenny's niece had to say. Now, I was kind of like, okay, we hear this story. It's going viral right now. I'm not sure if this is actually her niece. Well, in addition to the fact that Miss Jenny did not come out and give her thoughts about it, right? At that time, she didn't say anything. Well, there are some comments where she was able to kind of respond to that because somebody asked her about it. So for me, this definitely confirms that the young lady in the video is indeed Miss Jenny's niece. Go ahead and get into this, okay? Miss Girl says, well, somebody asked her, what is the story behind your niece calling you out? She says, to be honest, I don't know. I haven't talked or seen them for over 9 years. She wasn't even born when I was in college struggling. Okay, so this is what Miss Jenny is saying when it comes to her niece and stuff. Girl, listen, honey, I don't know if this girl, I don't know if she's telling the truth or not, but that's yet to be seen. We're going to continue to watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and see how this plays out to see whether or not the girl is telling the truth, that Miss Jenny and her husband will do whatever to, you know, be on TV. I don't know if they would or wouldn't. Not sure yet. They're new to the show. Those tears that Miss Jenny was crying looked like real tears when her husband came to her and approached her with a proposition to, number one, have another child. Okay, if she didn't want to do it, get a surrogate. And if she don't want to have a surrogate, then let's get a sister wife. Okay, those tears that she cried definitely look like real tears. But we'll see, because Miss Jenny definitely used the death of one of her kids to try and get sympathy from the ladies, okay, after she pretty much snapped off on Miss Mary, honey, okay? But we got our eye on you, Miss Jenny, girl. We watching you very closely. But let's go ahead and move on to something else, okay? Let's talk about another housewife. Let's get into Miss Cynthia Bailey. All right, y'all know Cynthia Bailey announced not too long ago that she will not be returning to Real Housewives of Atlanta for the next season. Now, she also mentioned that she was offered a friend contract and she wasn't interested in having a friend contract. And now that she's married to her man, Mike Hill, it seems like she'd rather just go on into the sunset and just live her life with her man. Well, according to the Jasmine brand, what they're saying in their story is that Cynthia Bailey says marriage to Mike Hill played a factor in her decision to leave Real Housewives of Atlanta. She says, I want to do everything I can to protect it and him. And I believe the it meaning her marriage. Okay, they're saying former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Cynthia Bailey, who's 51 and looking good as, okay, looking 10 years younger, is opening up about her departure from the show and how her marriage was a factor. Okay, in season 13 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, fans witnessed the reality star and the sportscaster Mike Hill tie the knot after he popped the question in season 12, okay, confessing that her marriage played a role in the decision for her leaving the show. She says, after going through my divorce with my ex, I'm very protective of my second marriage because, you know, I really want it to work and I want to do everything that I can to protect it and Mike. She says it's a little bit of a slippery slope at times and not always the most positive atmosphere to bring your family and husband into. I do not blame Miss Cynthia at all, okay? Cynthia and her ex-husband, Peter Thomas, married on Real Housewives of Atlanta during her first season. Okay, the ex-couple later divorced in 2016, but Cynthia says it probably would have happened either way. Okay, and I believe her. I believe that the divorce with Peter would have happened either way. I don't think that they were a good pair at all. I don't think they were a good pair at all. I'm still wondering, how did Peter even connect with Cynthia for them to get married anyway? Where did you meet this man? Okay, but let's keep reading. She says, honestly, whether we were on the show or not, I don't think it would have worked out now. Now, let's be very clear. I don't think being on the show helps your relationship. Okay, girl, I don't think so either. If you on there for a long period of time, I mean, we even saw Nene and Greg get a divorce, but they ended up getting remarried. Okay, we saw one of Candiace's relationships end. Remember the guy AJ? Her family they couldn't stand. I think he at some point ended up getting murdered or something like that. I feel like if he would not have gotten murdered, I feel like he and Candy would have been together for a very long time, and she would have went on to marry this man. Okay. Unfortunately, but God rest his soul. She was able to go on and find, some love inside, and they seem to be doing great. The show ain't messing up their marriage, okay? Because they definitely using this show as leverage to fund the other businesses and stuff they got. But girl, let's get back to Miss Cynthia and her man, okay? She goes on to say, but if your relationship is not solid and there's issues you guys are dealing with, those issues are going to play out whether you own the show or not. That's just what it is. I definitely agree with Miss Cynthia on that, girl. I agree with that wholeheartedly, girl. They are there to exploit those relationships. And if she doesn't want to open up more about it, then it was best for her to, go ahead and leave the show. And let's be honest, like, I wouldn't take no friend contract either. You ain't finna have me out here on no friend contract and giving y'all all of this tea about my life and my relationship. Hey, Marlo, how are you? Okay, I'm opening up more and more about my life, but you trying to pay me on some friend type of salary. No, ma'am, you're not going to pay me on no friend salary, but you want information about me. No. Okay, because if nobody else was giving on the show, they probably would have asked Cynthia to open up more when it comes to her relationship and stuff. You're not going to demote my pay or reduce my pay and move me down to a friend status and think that you're going to get the same type of effort that you got from me all these other years ago. Girl, no, ma'am. Okay, she goes on to say that Mike is supportive either way, but I think he is very excited for me to be on television in other ways, okay? Something a little less drama-based. I just need a little bit of a break. Right now, I need a break, and I want to focus on some of these other things I've got going on. Okay, so congratulations to Miss Cynthia for putting herself in her relationship first. Okay, I feel like she ended the show on a very, very high note. So congratulations to her to move on, and do whatever she's gonna do out here in these streets with her good man, Mike Hill, honey. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into something else. All right, let's talk about Miss Kenya Moore. Let's get into Kenya Moore. It looks like Miss Kenya Moore may have been eliminated last night on Dancing with the Stars. Okay, she had a great run. She had an awesome time, on the show. But, unfortunately, it came to an end for her. So I'm not, I don't think it's anything for Kenya to be down and sad about. It was a great opportunity. It was something that she's always wanted. But, things got to come to an end. And I feel like the timing of her leaving the show was kind of great because now she can move forward with filming Real Housewives of Atlanta. Okay, she stopped one job to go to another job. So go and get it in. Her life is not going to stop. She's going to be pretty busy. I know it would have been great had she been able to stay and make it all the way to the end or whatnot, and possibly even winning. But unfortunately, she was eliminated, she and her partner. But, all is still going well in the world of Miss Kenya. Okay, she about to get ready to go ahead and film. She even had a chance to sit down with Miss Tiffany Haddish over there on Ellen. And she kind of talked about the Ultimate Girls Trip. And she talked about Miss Portia and Cynthia. And she also talked about the new faces. Okay, she kind of touched on a little bit of Real Housewives of Atlanta. But I'm not going to tell y'all about it. I'm going to let her tell y'all. So go ahead and get into this.
Now, beyond Dancing with the Stars, you're a mom, you're a businesswoman, yes, and plus a Real Housewife. Yes. Now, what's going on with the new season of Atlanta Housewives?
It's a facelift, not the Hollywood kind, It's a facelift. We're getting some new girls. It's a cast shakeup, new blood, and I'm really excited to see where we're going next.
Because the big news is Cynthia and Portia aren't going to be there.
Yeah.
You must be happy about that because you plus Portia, that's just all drama. Y'all just don't get along.
We've gotten along in years. You know, it's off and on. It's like any kind of relationship with your sister. You're going to love them one day, hate them the next. But listen, if you're with someone for 9 years, you have to have love for them. And I have love for her. And I really do wish them the best. Like, they're great girls, and I hope that they find their happiness.
Do you think you're going to have, like, less drama now?
Well, girl, you know, when the new girls come, they come after me. And, you know, I did not send for them, so we all know how that turns out.
Now, you have a new show, Real Housewives, Ultimate Girls Trip.
Yes.
Say, hold up, because I know a lot about girls trips.
Yes, yes, you do.
I know a lot about girls
You are the originator of the girls trip.
Now, what's going on this show? Like, what's happening?
It's like a mashup of a lot of different housewives from different cities, and we get together and we go on this trip to Turks and Caicos.
Ooh,
and it is exciting. It's fun. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had filming a show. I mean, these girls are all like super big personalities. And it was just drama from moment one.
Really?
Yes.
Now, in the trailer, you get into it with Ramona from Real Housewives of New York. What's that all about?
I mean, who doesn't Ramona get into it with? You know what I mean? She is just a troublemaker, but she's like one of those polarizing people. You love her, you hate her. But I think at the end, I'm giving you a little hint. At the end, I think we're in a really good place.
Okay.
All right, y'all heard that, okay? Miss Kenya still out here wishing the girls well, okay? Wishing them, I wish you joy and happiness. Come on, Whitney Houston. But above all this, I wish you love, okay? Come on, Miss Kenya. She out here continuing to wish Miss Cynthia and Miss Portia, you know, happiness, love, do what makes you happy, girl, and go on about your life. All right. Now, she also touched on the ladies of Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I agree with her when she talked about how these ladies, you know, come for her and she didn't send for them. Right. I definitely think that some of these new ladies are going to come onto the show. And they probably gonna be trying to get at Miss Kenya, and Miss Kenya gonna have to get them a run for her money, okay? Or a run for their money, okay? Now, y'all already know things are not settled between Drew and Kenya, and I'm interested in seeing how Drew holds her own and not having like Portia there or anybody there that's initially team Drew. Right? Maybe Candy, because Candy is team everybody for the most part. Candy likes to be on the show, collects the money, be technically the friend of the show, okay, and not get in the midst of things, all right? So we'll see how that's going to play out. You know, Candy just cool with everybody. She just there to get a check. If anybody's a real friend of the show, it's Miss Candy, because she don't be bringing down a damn thing. Do you hear what I say? I mean, girl, anyway, honey, it's going to be interesting, like I said, to see how this is going to play out with Drew and Kenya, because I don't think they ended on a very great note last year. So that's one target I'm sure Miss Kenya got, and we'll see how it's going to play out with the other ladies, right? Yeah, let's see how that's going to go. But let's go ahead and switch gears, honey. Let's go ahead and get into Miss Karen of Real Housewives of Potomac. She got a chance to sit down on Watch What Happens Live, looking as good as she wants to look. And she touched on Nicki Minaj, okay, being a part of the show and who she thinks, you know, Nicki Minaj probably disliked the most or grilled the most. Y'all go ahead and check out what Miss Karen had to say about Nicki. Okay, get into this.
Well, believe it or not, there are a few questions for the Grand Dame that are even too shady for me to ask. So I invited a few special guests who'd frankly attend the opening of an envelope. Karen, there are 3 shady butterflies lurking in this box.
Come on,
ready to unleash a cocoon of shade in your direction.
All right,
okay,
ready.
what's the first question?
Whose business would you rather invest in? Robyn's embellished hats or Gizelle's every hue beauty?
Ooh, shady butterfly.
That is so shady because every hue is gone.
Oh. There you go. Next question, butterfly.
Butterfly needs to leave.
Who from your cast do you believe is Nicki Minaj's least favorite?
Oh, who did you walk away from the reunion thinking maybe Nicki was...
I don't think Nicki anyone was her least favorite. She's just a real girl. And so she held their feet to the fire. So she lit other people a fire that she didn't lit.
Who were a couple
fire.
that she lit that you
She
were...
tore Gizelle's ass up. It was so wonderful. It was wonderful. She asked questions that, you know, normally editing cuts and, you know, I asked those. And they never make the tape. So I'm hoping they keep that with Nicki.
I think they'll be in there, yeah.
So I love that. And I did love What was your next question? I'm sorry,
Well,
I'm cutting that moment.
She had a long conversation with Candiace about her music that was interesting.
I loved how she went for the juice with Candiace because she is a no-nonsense kind of businesswoman about the music industry.
Yes.
So she held Candiace accountable, so stay tuned. I did like how Candiace finally pushed through.
Okay.
All right, y'all heard what Miss Karen had to say. Looks like she, Miss Nicki, girl, she had to get Miss Gizelle together. That's what it sounded like, okay? She had to call out some things, and I'm very interested in seeing how Gizelle is going to handle that. Am I interested in really seeing Nicki host a reunion, or just a portion of it? I don't know. I'm still a little indifferent about it, girl. I don't really know how I feel. Okay, some part of me is looking forward to how it all is going to play out, but at the same time, it's kind of like I really don't want to see her, because when you get the bars mixed with the fans of Real Housewives of Potomac, girl, it's a wholeheartedly mess. Okay, and then I'm wondering how her line of questioning is going to go. People love to talk about biasness. Okay, people being biased and stuff. So I'm wondering if she's going to grill everybody equally, or she's just going to take, daggers at certain people. When it comes to Candiace, she talks about how Nicki is, really tough on Candiace when it comes to the music. I'm so interested in what Nicki has to say to Candiace. I don't want to hear anything about her behavior and how she may need to present herself when being an artist, when Nicki Minaj has been out here being problematic for quite some time. And there's been quite some time for about as long as you've been in the industry, there's been rumblings about how you've carried yourself behind the scenes, okay? So I'm really looking forward to seeing how is she going to hold Candiace to task as it pertains to her music and stuff in the industry. And let's not even go and talk about low budget. I hope that's not a part of Nicki Minaj's commentary to Miss Candiace, considering the fact that you started in that same place, okay? Highly low budget, okay, girl, before we could even get 1080p and barely had 780p when it came down to, recording, certain things or whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that part. Okay, so maybe I'm more interested in the questioning and seeing the questions that Nicki asked that don't typically make air. And maybe it's more so the fans and stuff, okay? The interaction from the fans that I'm not necessarily interested in seeing. But we'll see how that's going to play out. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts overall when it comes to Real Housewives of Potomac. Let me know your thoughts about Kenya Moore being eliminated from Dancing with the Stars, and how you think the season is going to go for her with Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay? Chime down below and let me know your thoughts also about Miss Jenny of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, okay? That's all I got. I'm Jamie, that's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.